So let's start. So in our app, looks like we haven't used the React use state yet. And just let's remove. In our app, this is the only place where we wrap our components with the router. So navigation bar is not necessarily needs to be wrapped. Why? Because it should be all the time at the top of the page without any link. So despite that, jumping to another links and other URLs, this navigation bar is always what located at the top of the page. And so we so far created homepage and then about page, and say that we may have different pages later on. Okay, for example, about, and then maybe details, and then even more. Say that. Okay, so when we hit this kind of URL, the searching bar in our UI. Okay, so that one is where is our URL. So here, say that the moment there something happens in our URL, okay, with this kind of parameters like about, and then let's say details, and then let's say more, okay, looks like there's something changed. Okay, the moment there is a change, our router looks its own algorithm or logic where it finds the matching component to render. Okay, so if we have such URL parameters attached, and then the routes is a switch function. Okay, if else statement, like it finds the best matching component. Okay, so I do have such URL parameters, and then let me render this page. Okay, and according to this URL, we will render something different. Okay, so when you click, let's say home, it means that, okay, we are going back to home page, and then the URL becomes something like this. And do we have such URL? We do. Okay, let me render this one. Okay, so this way we keep adding more and more components with different URLs. And as long as there is a change in our address bar, the router decides to pick up only one of them for rendering. Okay, that's
May I
actually,
ask a question?
yep.
It's regarding the routes.
Mm-hmm.
So before I saw we use switch. Is switch no longer in use?
Yeah, who showed you using the switch?
It was in my previous bootcamp, and I
Oh
tried
yeah,
to
that.
do the
Mm-hmm.
same this time, and it gave me an error. So switch
Yeah,
is no more in use.
no, that's version 5. When I started routers, I said
Mhm.
we're gonna learn with version 6.
Got
Where's
it.
our React router? Yeah, version 6. You see, and the 5
Mhm.
is the one who uses the switch. Okay,
Right.
switch, and then they use not element but
Us.
component. Yeah,
Yeah.
or component. Yeah, component. And also their
Exact us.
implementation of the component is also a little different, and sending data is also a little weird. Like you have to make this this homepage like this. So if you want to render this one, you have to make as if you are calling this home function. Okay,
Right.
and then you will attach some data and so on. I don't exactly remember, but it was a little bit different.
It was,
Okay.
yeah, it was different. I tried to do
Hmm.
it like that with switch and didn't work, and I get an error.
Yeah,
So
that's version 5. But if you want to send some data when when the router renders homepage, so you can just put here, let's say, data equal to, let's say, um, hello. So inside home, you will get the props as the hello. Okay, props.data would equal to hello,
got
and
it.
this is
Got it.
how you can share in a new smart
Yeah, this
router.
is the way I was doing.
Hmm.
Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense now.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. How the routers can be organized at the beginning of the every single React project. Okay. So we're still waiting for details and then login page, but we are done with the about. let's see how this about works. That's very simple. The moment we click this about, where that about is located, it is in our navigation bar, and then we'll link this navigation bar with the to attribute, okay, which should send us to. So in other words, when we click this one, someone in the behind the curtains will put text over here about, okay, when we click this one. All right. So when I click this about, someone in the background putting this word about triggers my router to think one more time because there happened something different or something new. Okay. So the router renders again all its child components, and from here route decides what to pick up. Oh, okay, I have something different now. Not only a single slash, but also with about keyword. Now it's time to render this component. Okay, that's where we are deciding how to go from about to home, or from home to about. So yeah, when we click home, let's say this is the logo goes here. So we are asking someone who sits in the background, okay, hey, go ahead and put on this slash in my address bar, okay, and then that guy just removes this one and leaves this slash, and the router uh re-rendered. As a result, we will decide to go only with this home component, okay. And so we can attach more links, but as long as we have correct components for that more links or different links, so they will be rendered every time when there is a change in our address bar. Okay, so yeah, this is simply about page. Okay, when this one is clicked, about page is rendered, but we have a special page content for the about, which just shows the what table. Okay, so just regular HTML uh, table, and then header section, and then body section. Inside, in the header, we have only one row, but three columns, right? Three columns. So this one column, the second column, and third column, and fourth column. In other words, like 4 cells in our first row. And then down below our header row, this is header row, we have T body, where we will be creating multiple rows, as many rows as we want in our body section. So how many rows we're gonna create? As many as we have in this array. Okay, we just customized to put something else over here. Okay, so in this case, what we ended up creating 5 rows. This is one row wrapper, and inside how many cells I have to create? 4 cells, one for number, one for first name, one for last name, one for a username. I have to create those separate cells. This is for number, this is for first name, last name, and then username. Okay, how many rows is created? So 5 rows. That's it. Let's see how the about looks like. Yep. Yeah, we can make it of these names also dynamic, but if we have something here, let's say object, let's say ID is 1, and then another object ID is 2, and then another object ID is 3, and then another object ID is 4, and another object ID is 5. Okay, in this case, we still can map this one, but this I should be I.ID to be able to pick up these numbers, right? But as for name, I can put something different. Let's say Mark David. And then for the last name, L name, so we can go with something, let's say random. And for him also quickly, name, and let's say Einstein. And then for the last name, we can put Albert. And for this one also, we can create quickly name, and then let's put here Isaac, and then let's put here last name, and Newton. Okay, actually, this can be created as a separate constant variable, not here, but somewhere else at the top. Okay, so const, let's say table data becomes this one. Okay, just a random table. All right, so as Isaac Newton, and quickly let's put here. Well, actually, I can remove. I don't want the 5, but 3 is enough. Now I'm gonna go and then map this table. Okay, table map, and I will use here i.name, and then here i.last name, and for the username, we can come up with something i.name plus i. Just last name, l name. Okay, so that's it. Let's see now. L name, i.l name. Okay, i.l name. Yeah, we have something coming from variable, which is table data. Okay. So this is about me, and the logo goes here. When we click logo, it just sends us to the home page. So home page is completely empty because of what? So let me close this one. We don't want anymore. We don't want this navigation. We don't want this package JSON. Home. And let's take a look at this home quickly. Let me check. Okay. Yeah, home. So in our home, initially we don't have anything but only these 3 components. What are they? Input text, search button, and then the drop-down menu. Okay, drop-down menu. So that drop-down menu is also dynamic, not hard-coded. So the more dynamic menu you add over here, so snack, let's say kids. If we have kids, we will find, but if we don't find kids. Let's say what else? Is there anything else except breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, kids? Maybe
Tea
kids.
time.
All right, tea time.
And
Tea
that
time.
was funny. I thought it's not going to find anything, but it does find.
Oh,
Coffee time.
coffee time, right?
It's coffee time.
So this tea time is with just all lowercase, or
I had like a tea time with a dash in between, but in a regular one, like a actual project, there's just like you wrote it down, and
okay.
both is finding.
Oh, both
So
finds.
yeah,
I see.
and it's
Mhm.
lowercase or uppercase, it still finds. So there's no
Yeah, you
difference.
see. Yeah, you see. That's why API is a application programmable interface. It means that this API is not only link. This is a whole algorithm where it decides what to find, what to fetch, based on what, based on what kind of characters, based on what kind of uppercase, lowercase. You see, it's not only link; it's a whole logic. So even though you write here uppercase t time, it still finds even if you write with the lowercase. So it looks like the API is a really great technology, one of the ever created with the REST technology. So yeah, T time we can leave, and so I'm basically mapping this meal type to create as many as the length of this meal type elements for my options, okay, to become them as a drop down menu under the select element, HTML element. Okay, save. Let's see. So we should have some more now. Cool. All right. So now, why don't we see anything? We don't see anything, even though breakfast, lunch, and dinner is selected. We don't see anything because nothing is typed in our search. That's for sure. When the nothing is typed, looks like the page is not re-rendered, right? Page is not re-rendered. But how about when the drop down is updated? So look at this. The drop down is updated. Okay. Now means that our drop down is whatever we selected here, which is tea time. Okay, the state is updated, but looks like the return is not returning nothing still. Why? Because search is empty. So the use effect never works until search is changed. Okay, never works until search changes. Okay, initially it works only once. Look at this. When we run our page, when we render our page for the first time it's live, it it definitely runs this use effect only once. But for the next time, from the next time, it runs only when there is a change in our search, right? So let's test if it runs when we render first time. First time, save. So those objects are coming from somewhere else. I just have to shut them down. Otherwise, they keep showing us a bunch of consoles. Okay. Now home, look at this. I just want to render first time this home and to test whether we're gonna see this console or not. Refresh. Yeah, first time, you see? Now first time is run. But why this fetch is not executed? Because the search is empty. Search is empty initially. That's why even though this use effect runs from the first time, we somehow block this search to be, to block this, prevent this fetch to be executed. Okay. All right. Whenever there is a change in our search, let's say egg, now the moment we type egg, this text becomes egg. Now here we have egg. How? Because this handle search is a function who targets this the value of this input. Okay, handle search updates this text. Look at this set search. Oh, not this one. Where is that? Okay, here. This function handle search is someone who updates this text, and then now text is egg. Okay, when I click the button, handle submit is someone who takes this egg keyword and then puts here egg. Okay, handle submit now. Set search, search has become egg. And then set text is back to empty. Now this one is empty. Looks like the state is updated and then even search is also updated. Now I will fire my use effect one more time and then assign all of these URL parameters for search and put here egg. API ID is something this variable, API key also, and drop down is also the one that is selected earlier. And the search is not empty, so I will run this fetch, fetching part. And inside the fetching part, I have another set state. So now the data is available. Once the data is available, I can even go by rendering filtered items component. Okay, filtered items component. So let's remove this default text now. Let's see. Still nothing. And then egg, search. Didn't work. Something happened. Okay, save. Drop down is nothing. Search is also nothing. Right. Yeah, I think because of API, I'm gonna refresh that one. Each child in a list. Okay, that's not a big issue. Validate. That's also just a warning. Warning. Yeah, these are all warning. No error. Egg. Yeah, looks like the problem is with this API. But it's not backend issue. Invalid value. Meal type. Interesting. Breakfast. We don't have breakfast. Let's put here. Oh, okay. It says that. Oh, okay, got it. So drop down is empty. Meal type. You see, breakdown. So we just have to select. Otherwise, it by default it just puts this to breakfast, which isn't which doesn't mean that here we have breakfast. Okay, the drop down is equal to breakfast, which is not. So we also have to update this, and then let's type here egg. Now everything goes well. So let me refresh quickly. Put things here, and then egg, and then let's update to dinner search. Yep, now it works. For the drop down, we can maybe somehow put here the default to breakfast or something else. But anyway, yeah, it works. So how this one works, when it finds out, so here we will set some array of objects to our data, right? So this one request is an object. This request is something like this, completely. Rec is object. And then object, inside object, we have property hits. And this hits is equal to array. And this array has objects. How many objects? As many as the matching number of objects based on this search keyword. Okay, there can be 100 objects inside this hits. There can be 10. There can be 20. Most of the time, it looks like 10. So this hits, okay, hits is someone who looks like this. Just array and then objects inside. And now we are directly taking this array and putting to data, and data becomes something like this. All right. And since this data becomes true, I will render the right side of my component and then send a props, which is data. Now let's go to filtered items. So filtered item has props.data, which is definitely equal to this one. Okay. As many as the objects based on the what the detected search items or found items. And okay, I have to show them on my UI, right? If there are like 20 objects, it means that 20 items is detected, 20 items found after searching. So how can I show to the client, to the users? So I can show them using some card. I can show them using some images, right? And then down below their name and so on, one by one. So if there are like multiple, I can map it, right? Props.data, or we can also go ahead and put here const just filtered data becomes props.data. And now I can map this one rather than props data. Okay. So filtered data is props data and the map item. So how many times this loop runs? This loop runs as many as the length of this incoming props. Okay. So how many items we found? We don't know. Maybe we found here 10 based on the search. We found here 50. Okay. Then we're gonna run 10 or 50 loops. And in our every loop, I would like to show the items in the form of cards. That card will include the image plus the title plus button. Okay, here is the cart that takes object one by one. So this filtered data is something like this. Okay, I start mapping. Okay, during my mapping, I'll create loop. That loop, the single loop takes this first object. Okay, during the first loop, I will send that object to my cart filtered items. And cart filtered items received as an object, these props. Okay, as an object. And that object can be created one cart. And then I'll send second object. That second object can be created the second cart. And then I'll send third object. Third object can be created the third cart. So at the end of the day, I'll end up creating like 10 or 20 or 50 different cards based on this incoming props data length. Okay, here is it. Everything is clear.
Yes.
And yeah, and in our cart for filtered items, it's one single component whose responsibility, whose duty is to create only one card. But for this kind of such cards, I can create based on the length of this loop. Okay, so this card is basically what it does is it simply takes the recipe and then image properties to show the image, and the recipe a label property to show the title. And then every time we add the one more button for every single card, and that button will be used by the user to go into different page with more detailed information of that particular what particular cart or particular let's say dish or meal name. Okay. All right. So that's what we have accomplished so far. In other words, for example, if there is a, let's say, um, props coming, so if we take the name of this props and then put directly here, like curly braces, you don't need to write here props.cart data. Okay, the name of the prop is cart data. You don't need to write props.cart data. So you can eliminate these props and remove these props because the cart data is already what dispatched from or destructured from props. Okay, so already destructed. So since we have something like this kind of data is coming, cart uh, data. So how can I directly get this one is by directly just writing here cart data. Okay, no need to write props cart data if I destructure my object this way over here. And cart dot recipe image, that's it. Or we can also directly put here anyway, yeah, that one works. Cart data. Okay, cart data. Let me save it. Yep, that one works. Next task is to send, let's say, information to the details page. So do we have details? So let's say that if we have such email details, looks like we don't have such page, right? Let's create that one quickly. So let's fire this details page. Oops. We don't have details page at the moment, but we can create. So looks like now details, you see, is attached to our URL
I
address
think we
bar.
import it too.
Yeah, address bar, but we don't have such component yet created. So do we have, yeah, here, but we haven't just put anything else. So const, let's say details, and becomes return, and then let's say just a quick div details about your clicked item is here. Okay, so let's export details. Save. Now, details needs to be imported. So here, details is the same level with about and so on. So let's put here details and then take it out from details. Yes, now details is also created. When we click one of the items from home, let me remove this index. When we click one of the items from that one is inside card filtered. Okay, when I click this one of the cards, okay, I should be able to send to the details page. So how can I do that? One is I can wrap this button with link, or this text I can wrap. So let me maybe wrap here with link, and then put him inside, and then sending to details. Okay, so let's import this from router. Import link from React router DOM. Save. Now every card has this button, and every card can send me to details page. Okay, details component, and this link is a router component whose function is to write on my address bar some extra parameters like this. The moment it writes extra parameter like this, the app.js is triggered, and the router starts rendering its child components one more time. And this route decides with the correct what path. In this case, details is written on my address bar. So let's go ahead and then render details component. See, now go here. Let's select a dinner and then something with egg. And let me click here, and details is added. Okay, details is added. But looks like we don't have the text rendered. Looks like details. Details. Where is our details? Details is here. Details about your clicked item is here. Export default details. Okay, that's my home. Let me refresh quickly and check dinner. Let's say pancake. Search. Let me click this one. Okay. Details is attached, but the page details is not rendered. Why? To details, route, and then element details. So where's our details? Details. Okay. So cart 2. Okay. Looks like this is creating us a different URL with details attached. But why you are not able to render? We are not able to render these details and pages. Is it inside page? Okay, inside page, that's correct. Let's console if we are able to render this page. Console.log details save. And before consoling, let's remove those keys quickly. I mean the warnings. Let me attach here key equal to something coming from this data. Let's say item dot recipe dot label. Okay, it's gonna be my key. And is there any mapping? Okay. Do we need key for him? Okay, let me put key him as well. What was that? Type, right? Type. Save. Okay, let's refresh everything. Okay, we don't have any key child error issue anymore. A valid DOM nesting. Okay, that's not issue. We'll go and refresh. Okay, dinner and then egg. Okay, and now let's click one of them. No routes matching location. Details. Interesting. Looks like we don't have such component matching. Let's check here. Isn't it similar to what I'm trying to send it to?
There is a typo there. Paths should be two. You
Oh,
type two, it should be
come
path.
on. Okay, thank you. Yep. Yep. The route attribute. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Other than that, we do have the contents of details. Okay. Yep. Let's go back quickly and check one more time. Bank and then update. Get the things on our UI. And yeah, now details is what navigated. So the next task is what? Be able to send the correct information to the details page, right? Every time when we click, we can send some information. So what kind of information we can send? For example, this entire object is this cart data is a whole object about that clicked cart. Okay, if you just simply console this one, it's a whole object, and we can send it. But how are we gonna send this? There are multiple ways. So, for example, let me first render one more time. Apple, and then change the drop down, and then get this one. Oh, okay. We are not rendering inside the details, right? So let me check one more time. Apple snack. Yeah, we have a whole object that we can send it to our what details page. So when the details page is opened, we can send this one object. So if let's say the other one selected, the another one, for example, if this one is selected, uh, we can send this object. Where that one is located is, I think, the fourth one. Okay, you're gonna send the fourth object, and in our details page, we will use information from that object and to show the detailed content. So we can go with the like multiple ways. What kind of, for example, we can create one function here to bring that data from child, okay, and then send it the details. But there's another more smarter solution. So say that this is app, okay, and our this component, cart component, and details is a two different child for app. Okay, so this is details. So to be able to send data from cart component to details, I have to send that data first to app, and then app can share me down below to details, not directly from cart to details. Okay, so how can I do this one is by sending him function. Okay, sending him function to bring data. Okay, and that function brings in data to app, and then app sends it to details. Then that's one way. Um, but here we have more shorter and then smarter solutions. So let's say we have another parameter attached. Let's say just data or ID or what. We can send something called, we can send based on what, for example, source, not source, yeah, label looks like label. So based on label, We will find out in our details page later. So how we find inside cart component, every time when we click, we will also put here that dynamic name. Okay, that dynamic name would be our recipe dot cart data recipe dot label. Okay, cart data recipe dot label, but we just have to make it dynamic with string template simply. Okay, and then when it's attached or here details and another one here, this becomes is this something missing? I think this one is not required. This one is also not required. Details, just wanted to make this dynamics. Okay, details is the default part, and then cart recipe data is the dynamic part.
A closing before that caret, you need to have the closing tag, I believe. Oh no, never mind. Link.
For the link, yeah, the
No,
link
it's
it closed itself.
closed. Yeah.
So the first part is the fixed part details. It sends to details page, and then second part is the dynamic part. So every time when there is something attached to details, it's gonna render this page. Okay. Anyway, it renders this page because this label and then column means, oh, okay, this part is dynamic. Details plus some dynamic variable. Okay, I will render every time details page. Okay, so details and then dynamic name, I will render it every time. So is there something weird? It still looks like. Okay, so string template. The first part is just a regular part, and second part is should be. That's what I want.
You need to put curly braces before backticks.
Before, for the two, right? Since it's coming here for the two. Since this one is changing what value for two, yeah, like here all the time, like here all the time, the changing values all the time should be wrapped to it. Okay, that's what. Yeah, sometimes confusing for me. Thanks, Mr. Barry. And okay, like for example, we can type something here, random. Okay, random text. But anyway, this one leads us to render this page. Okay, render this page, but we won't be able to show some meaningful information later. So let's see that even though we type here some random text, whether we will be able to render these details or not. Okay, let's see. Logo goes here, and then dinner, and then some, let's say apple. Search something, refresh, and yep, we're still able to render that details page. But when I use here something informative from the router, which I used earlier, if you remember, I use params, right? So let me import that one. Import use params from React Router DOM and console.log use params is a function. If I find it, what I would get is random. Okay, is this useful for me to filter out the clicked cart object? No, of course. So in this case, we can send him more informative text instead of random, something dynamic. Okay, so what is that? It's a label. So based on label, we will filter out the object again one more time. Okay, object again. So now let's see. Refresh, go back. Let's say Apple, and then update drop down and select. Now, for example, the first one, right, which is slow cooker apple butter. Let me click. We will have such label. Okay, based on this label, I will somehow find that object in my details page. Okay, where is that details? I can find that one using this use params, label property. Okay, using this label property, I can filter out. So how can I filter out? Either I can make one more time one more time API call, or another way is what?
Map it again.
Um, what do you mean, map?
Well, when you send it, you can just map it through now.
Yeah, by filtering, I will end up finding, but I should be able to send the data. But when I click, I'm only sending this label, and based on label, I have to filter out one more time from all the available data. So available data is what? This array of objects.
Mhm.
So I have a keyword. Okay, I have a keyword um, that can help me to find that object again. Okay, so either I can make an API call here one more time, or we can do, but like as a more like a professional project, that wouldn't be like really smart solution. I mean, in professional projects, that wouldn't be a great solution. But right now we can go with that. Okay, I actually don't want to show like how we drill down using function and then bubble up all the way through the app component using the function to share data from child to child. But this way would be more shorter. Okay, so here what we can do, we can um, we can send that data, but if we can send, so this one is completely something different. Fetch. So that object is here, card data. Yeah. Since this fetching is handled in child component of app, that's what putting us in trouble. Okay. If we were fetching over here, then it would be really more like shorter solution. But since we are hitting our API in our child component of app, that's a different scenario.
When you helped me to do this one, we did
Yeah, with function.
yeah,
Yeah,
this function.
that's the what I don't want to follow. I want to show you
Right.
shorter, more like a smarter, better solution. But using, you see, parameters, extra parameter, and
Mhm.
you see here more like really dynamic URL parameter is attached, which shows
Right.
only specifically information about that object using router logic. And yeah, let's have a quick break. Okay, after break we will think it. Maybe we will go back to our component drill down method, which is using the function. Okay, if we don't find like better solution here, let's have a quick break. Okay, like I think 5 minutes is enough, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, let's continue. So I think what we can do. So one, use navigate. Yep. So let's try with the use navigate something. Okay. So let's so when that one is clicked, so this one is clicked, um, using the use navigate in our state, we can send it to somewhere else as another solution. Yep. Um, let's make it first sure that we are receiving the data, and then we can also go with another option. Instead of link, we can try use navigate. There is another option also, okay, to navigate between the pages. You can use that one. But here, what I would like to use is in our homepage. Uh, so let me create one state here. That one, that state holds the data from home. Okay, so whatever we find out in our fetch, that would be also stored in our app. Okay, every time when we find, let's say, 10 objects, 20 objects based on the search, that would also be sent immediately to our app. Okay, so how can we send it? Let's just put here what some again data, but let's say data from search home. Okay, set data from search home page. Okay, so home and then equal to use state, and initially it's just nothing. Okay, we just have to import use state from React. Import use state from React. Now, how can we update this one? When there is a change. When there is a change, okay, we can send a function every time. So that function is const, let's say update this one. Okay, update this one, data from search home. And how it updates is simple by running this one. Okay, so what is gonna be the updated data, whatever is coming from this function. Okay, so where this function brings it from, this function should be first sent to home like this. Okay, I'm just sending this function to home every time when there is an update in my fetch. Okay, and this function is now available in my home. How can I destructure? Is simple, putting here curly brace. Okay, that function is now available in my home. And how can I fire this function? Is simply right immediately at the same time with this set data. Okay, so let's put here both of them. If we have multiple, you just have to open here curly brace and then write them next to each other. Okay, so that's that data, and then let's fire this function by putting him also this what rec hits. Rec hits. Look at this. This function is completely foreign, not local. This function also what is called with some parameter. Okay, we are providing him parameter where it will be fired then this function. This function, at the moment this function is called, invoked, it will be fired here inside this app. Okay, so make it arrow function inside this app. Okay, and now if this one is function called in my home, the inside app, it updates inside this app, it updates its own local state. Okay, what is E? Whatever we are handing him here. So let me split it into two sections. Look at this. What is E here is whatever we are putting him. So if it's, let's say, hello, okay, the moment this function is called, this function runs and then updates this data from search home to become hello. Okay. And but if I put here rec hits, and then put here rec hits, and the moment this function is fired, this place becomes something array of objects. Okay, whatever this fetch finds. So array of objects becomes, all right? Do I need that array of objects? Yes. Let's send this array of objects all the time to details as well. Okay, all the time. When we render details, we will send this data for search home as well. And now this details has uh, the same data that home has here as a data. Okay, so if you go to now details, where is that one? And if we just say that this structure, that data search from home, okay, and the structuring it simply here, and let's console. It's gonna be array of objects, and let me also use these params if we have some links between data from search home and then use params. Okay, save it. Let's go to our app, refresh. The logo goes here, refresh, and let me run. So Apple, and then dinner search. Okay, so now looks like the bunch of objects detected. So if I click here, I will send one label text as well as these all objects again one more time to details. You see, details has all objects plus the cards, clicked card information. Okay, which one is clicked? This apple, elderflower, and this ginger cocktail, something like that. Can we find specifically this object based on this text? Yes. Let's look who has such label. So this one doesn't have. Second one. This one doesn't have. Third one doesn't have this one. Apple, elderflower again. Okay, this one looks like this object. Now we can filter out this in our details just by comparing this use params label. Okay, we will filter and during every filtering, I mean, filter is a higher order function, is a loop. During every loop, we will check, hey, who has the label equal to this label text? And the one who will have will be filtered out. Okay, so here we will do const filtered detail becomes equal to data from search home dot filter, let's say item, but that's gonna be what clearly defined item dot what. Okay, item is an object. Now item dot recipe dot label. Okay, item dot recipe dot label. Whoever is has their equal content, like use params. Okay, use params. Since this is a function, use params is returning an object. An object of what? Property label. So we will use here label. Instead of this putting dot notation, let's put into separate variable const, let's say params equal to this one. And then we will put here params dot label. Okay, let's double check the label looks like an uppercase. I'll go ahead and then put here uppercase label. Okay, and see what's gonna be our filtered console dot log filtered detail. Save. So refresh, go back, search something, egg, and snack time. Okay, we have different objects now. Let me click the first one. If we will be able to get the same what filtered object. Click this one. Looks like we couldn't find. Okay, not sure. Maybe label is, yeah, both of them lowercase, not uppercase. Okay, let me put again L just. Okay, and now we ended up finding the exact object. Now we can use this object to show the detailed description of this in this page. Okay, and this is what we are actually looking for. So what we did, so let me draw here. We have app component. and then we have what? Details page. Details page. And then we have home page. So inside home page, we have, say that, cart component. Okay, cart component. So when we click single cart, using it navigates us to details page. Okay, when we click single cart, navigates to details page. But in our details page, we don't know which cart is clicked. Using the use params, we can find out which details is clicked. Okay, use params returns us some value. What kind of value? Is something like this. Whatever we attach here. Okay, what are we actually attaching? During every card click, we are attaching the label or title of that card. Okay, use params returns that title. Cool. What should I do next? So use params is return some text. Okay, let's say text txt. So we don't have still the data to show. Okay, as a whole object. Now, during the search, let's say I typed egg, and my home component ended up finding 10 objects inside an array that's related with egg. Okay, that's related with egg. All right, this array of object is in my home, and I can also send it to my parent app. Hey, hold it for a while. You can use maybe in the future. How can I send it? I can create here one function, function f, and I can send it to home. So this function is someone who can help you to bring me this data that's related with egg. Okay, this function is kind of an ambassador, okay, that goes to home and then brings all the time the array of objects. Okay, I can hold it somewhere else in my state like this, and I will decide whenever I will use this fetched items. So every time the details is rendered, I will use that one. Otherwise, I don't use anymore anywhere else. Okay, so inside details, we have then looks like array of objects. Every object has label, labels the text. One of them has the definitely same text as use param returns. Okay, I can filter out that guy then. Okay, using the filter. And once I filter out, it's going to be, again, array of one single object. Now I can use this single object to show as a details. Okay. Yeah, that's how the logic works here. One more time. Now we created this function. That function updates my state with what? With whatever this home function hands me. Okay, so home component hands me. Okay, how the home component hands me something. Inside home component, I will fire that function that's coming from my app. I will fire where? When there is a fetch happens. When the fetch happens, okay, every time when the fetch happens, I'll fire this function and then hand him some gift. Okay, take this and send it to my app component, okay, which is my parent component. Okay, it brings here and then updates this state, and this one holds just for like for future necessities. And the moment I render the details component, okay, that data is now useful in my details. So in my details page, I will compare two data. One of them is coming from use params. The other one is coming from data from search. That's coming from my parent. If anyone has item that recipe label, a label equal to params label, I will filter out. Otherwise, I don't. So now here we have array of one single object. How are we gonna use them? Okay, we will use as what showing details of this clicked card. Well, what is the what object? How the object looks like? Let's see. So we have image. We can even show one more time. And then we have what? Bunch of health labels. If you want, we can also use all of them. And we have bunch of some digest what properties. We can use all of them, or just we can pick one by one. Otherwise, there are really you see too much information. Maybe ingredients we can use. Yes, let's use ingredients, the text, and even what text, and then measure we can use. Okay, and how about calorie? Because that's also too much. Yeah, I'll show you just how to use these data inside details, and then the rest is up to you. Let me go ahead and run again or in our details. So since this is an array of object, we can create what another big page. Okay, that would be our maybe cart. Let's see if we have some larger carts. React strap cart. Just a larger cart. Maybe this is small. Looks like is not the one I'm looking for. It's also small. This this might work. This card. Okay, so without this button. But how about the material UI cards? Material UI card. Okay, card component. Looks small. Yeah, this one would be yeah, pretty much fitting. Can use this one. All right, let's get this first one. Then the code is here. Oh my goodness, that's too much. So we need only image and the text part. Where is that coming from? Image and text. Okay, cart media and then cart content. That one is enough, I think. Yep, let's get only that part and put here. I'll go ahead and wrap with cart. Okay, so cart, save. I think that's enough. So for the media, okay, cart is, this one is extra and should be closed. So let's check if we have material UI installed. Where is our package.json? We do not have material UI. Let's quickly install it. But importing is very simple. Show. So what are the components we used in our details? Cart media, cart content, typography. I can also copy, paste from here quickly. Typography, cart content, cart media, and cart. Let's get all this. And the one we are not using, we can remove. Okay. So it looks like we are not installed with the material UI. Let's install that one. Let me check where are we actually. Okay, we are in the correct path. So material UI needs to be installed in this way. npm emotions, we don't need emotions. Let's get this one. Save. Okay, npm install. Yes, let's go. So instead of image, what I would use is, so this is an array of object, right? So I will jump into this one. I'll jump into this one and get that object because the object is the zeros index. and from recipe property and then dot image, I'll get the image. Okay, because this the 0 would give me this object, entire object, and then from object I have recipe property. Inside recipe there are a bunch of properties, and then image would give me the image. That's it. And for the text, we will just map this one. Okay, we will map this with something different now. Um, Something different. So instead of this text, I would like to what show the data from ingredients. Okay, from ingredients. First, we have to jump into ingredients. How we jump is again this way, but instead of image, I'll write ingredients. Okay, now I will map and then grab what? I'll grab the text. Okay, I'll grab text. So let's say text would be my typography. Okay, return typography. But as a content, I would use what? Text.text. So text.text. That's it. Save it. Let's go and then grab from the beginning. Egg, snack, search. Let's get this one. That's it. You see, image inside a cart and with ingredients in different lines. We can make it somewhere in the middle, so it still looks like so max width 3 for how about 700? Will it change? Yep. How about height? We can also give some height. Control C. Max height. I don't know if height exists, but if there is max width, means that there is definitely height also exists. Okay, so we can make it 500. Can go. Still small, about 800. Interesting. Max height, maybe just height. Sometimes just height also works. Yeah, height looks like works. Now we can make it just 400. Here's the height, and then the width is an image for the image height. Let's say increase the image size like to 49. But in this case, it overlaps that text. So since this is width, the height should go like 500, and then let's make it 150, not 350. Save it. So height of cart is 500, and then cart of image is 360. The rest is for the text. Okay. So that's about my details. So you can use whatever you want. It's up to you. Like in the real requirements, right? It even asks somewhat calories, right? If it's only like some of them is required, you can copy paste one by one, but that part is not difficult as long as you understand this one. And so let's put it somewhere else in the middle of our page. Let me check where this div is located actually. So this div is here, occupying the entire width, right? Entire width. We can make it flex, deflex, and then make margin auto. Okay, these are all Bootstrap classes. And of course, we have to specify the width also, and then the auto works. So here, what it's gonna be is a style. Quickly, width is say that somewhere around 50% of the entire screen. Save. Yep, 50%, but now this one is not that occupying entire screen of the width, so we can make it 30, and width is just putting here 900, and this one is 600. Should work somehow. Yep. And let me remove the border. Save. Yeah, that's it about a little bit more details, and we can also put here. Let's see if there is more interesting informative properties. So from single object recipe, well, we can also come up with total nutrition. So CA carbs. Yeah, carbs actually also meaningful. Calcium. So let's create array of these useful nutritions, and then based on that array, we will filter out only those nutritions. Okay, not all of them. Definitely, every object has these all what nutrition types, but we will pick only based on the array that we create here. So let's create here one array another. So const nutrients equal to array, and then calcium. Let's create calcium. Oops, calcium, and then carbs, and then magnesium. And what else? Sodium, fiber. Let's get fiber, and one more maybe water. Let's put water as well. Water. And based on these 5 criteria, we will only filter out those objects, okay, and then use their values. So here, what I would do is I'll create another constant, okay, filtered nutrients equal to from data dot filter, let's say item, and then item dot, if you remember, recipe dot, what was that? Total nutritions, right? So total nutritions. Okay, so now, okay, not this one would be filtered. Okay, so here we'll have somehow nested loop. That's kind of different. Okay, so data is an array, and this one is another array. So how can we filter it out, right? This is another array. We can go with the traditional way, okay, traditional array logic. I mean, loop logic, nested loop. Let's first loop this one, okay, for let I of this one, and then for let j of I. So this data from search is an array with 10 objects, right? And inside every object, we have the property total nutrients, which holds another like 30 objects. So to be able to run that 30 objects, we have to jump into that single object first, okay? And then from that single object, j dot recipe dot nutritions, actually I dot recipe dot nutritions would be another array. Okay, so I dot receive total nutritions is another array. So but I is just single object. I dot recipe dot total nutritions is another array. So from this array, I will check what the label Okay, if that label includes in my nutrients, what variable. So if nutrients, let's say, that includes what? J dot label. Why I put here J dot label? Because J becomes one object, and then label becomes this text. Okay, but looks like CA, right? Interesting. Okay, let me check. So this one has how many total nutrients? Oh, that's weird. That total nutrients is not array. Sorry, it's not an array, guys. Total nutrients is just object, but these are all keys. You see, these are all keys, not object. I mean, it's not array, so we can loop over. Okay. In this case, yeah, we can use different logic, but let me just remove everything and not to confuse you. Okay, just I'll give up from that logic. And if you want like whichever nutrition information you want, you can copy paste one by one. But here, I think that's enough for detailed. So if let's go back to logo goes here, type something, let's say pancake, and then from tea time, let's search and get this one information. Yeah, we do have. Okay, we do have the about, and then GitHub, and then logo, which is the homepage, and finally logout. Let's now work with logout. So when the logout happens, logout. So we don't have logout created yet. So let's run this one. So it's gonna be, yeah, when we click, it sends us the login URL, right? When we click logout. So, to be able to go to the login, we have to attach here what one link. Where is our navigation? It's in our navigation bar. So let's put here link. We don't need this one anymore, but put here link. And it sends us to where login. Okay. Do we have the component that should be rendered when there is a login parameter? No. We have to create it. Did we create? We did. Let's continue this one. Login. And then return just login. Okay. Login, save and export. Login, save. Cool. Now we created login component, and the next task is to just import it quickly. Okay. Login. And here also login. That's it. When that on login is rendered, when we click navigation menu with the text login, logout. Okay, when we click logout, it sends us the login URL, and the login URL is rendered when this login, what component is routed. That's it. So let's check logout. Logo goes here, GitHub. Okay, remove this, and then about. And finally logout. This should show us here. I think again I made here 2, right? Enough path. Cool. Yep. Now login is coming. So instead of this one, what we can do is we can create some form, and that form asks us to type credentials. Okay. So let's find out if there is a better form. No, React Strap maybe, carousel. Not usually. Okay, forms here. Now, yep, we can directly benefit from this one. Email and then password. Okay, let's get this one in our login. So instead of this, I'll go and put directly save. Let's import all of those components from React Strap. Import from forum. And the next one is button from React Strap. Save it. Login is, let's see now. Fresh. Not sure if these groups also needs to be imported because this one is kind of coming after. Let's check it. Form, the form control component renders a form control. It renders input. Should I import them? Not sure how it is done in material UI.
Do you normally import it from the React Bootstrap?
Yeah, like
Okay.
this form and then button the React Strap.
Okay.
But this form group and form label, are they also needs to be imported? That's what, because they kind of using from form. Maybe I will limit this quickly to see some limited contents like with form group. Not sure. Let's see. And then, yeah, this one doesn't work. You see, just maybe group, and a group is not used. Looks like interesting group is not used, even though we have here. Should be working. Okay, let's render it again. Maybe save. And just remove this one. Put here homepage. And go to logout. Yeah, sending to login. Interesting. It says form control, where that control is coming from. And copy. If I copy it, doesn't make any sense, but let's maybe use material UI form. I think that one would send me the same page. Okay, not here. Text field, React component, maybe. Yeah, it's kinda small, not this one actually. Can also use the bootstrap. Here we have name. Creating material or once the material form. How about the formic? Get started. Okay, form. Not that friendly. So bootstrap form. Yeah, let's get this one. And then don't worry about any library. It directly works with the CSS. You don't even need to import anything. Just put here bootstrap. Yeah. So in this case, what is with what input has no corresponding closing tag. Let's close then. Let's close then. Here also. Save. See how it looks. Okay, more or less it works now for the form, and we can make it look smaller with limiting its width. So let's put here style of width. Okay, that takes only like in the middle of the screen, right? 20% of the screen. Let's see. Okay, it's in the middle. It's gonna be in the middle. Also should be uh, deflex to be able to send to the middle, right? Deflex margin auto, but deflex. Okay, let me put here margin on inside styles, and the top bottom is like top bottom 30 pixels, and right left is auto. Just okay. It's in the more middle now, and like 30. Yep, that one works. Check me out, submit. Nothing now is working at the moment, but we will fix. Cool. More or less, this is our form. We could also put this one inside a cart, actually. Okay, inside cart. But anyway, yeah, this is our login. The rest is just the cosmetics. And where is our navigation? Let me make this one also color none and then white. Okay, for the link as well. It's also white, and then the text decoration is none. Logo sends us to homepage. Logout sends us to login page, GitHub, and then about is a table data. Okay, logout is. So how can we make that when we type something, it sends to homepage? Any ideas?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, how can we make such that when we click submit, it sends us to homepage? Did you come
I
up with
used
that?
link.
You used what?
Link.
Link.
Oh, link, right? Directly sends. But
Yep.
if you use link, it's to say what refers your page, right? Something. This kind of process goes on. Oh, you use a React router link, right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, router link. Okay.
Router link.
Okay, so that is one option. So yeah, link works pretty much. That one works, but I would like use another React property, which is use navigate. Okay, use navigate is also possible. So here in this submit, we will do something like this. So let me check it. Use navigate. React router use navigate. So use navigate, or let me get React router v6 first. Okay, inside v6 we will have navigation, either using the link or use navigate. Okay, so use navigate. Yep. So every time when we click the button, well, what is this on submit invoices? Okay, we don't want that one. That's a sync event. inside directly in our click on click, let's try to fire this use navigate. Okay, so if I first import this one simply in our login, look at this, and I will go and then attach here on click. Okay, and what I would do is I will fire this use navigate the way the tutorial and the documentation recommends. So here, instead of invoices as blah 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 blah, I would just put here a what slash. Okay, so is this one working now? Looks like not. Why? Use navigate. Okay, I just have to destructure this one. Okay, to another variable here. So navigate, and then use navigate as a function, and I just applied it to navigate variable. Now navigate becomes function, and then every time when I click, it navigates me to this slash. Okay, you see, so also really simple and cool solution.
I was gonna say unclick, but I didn't know navigate, so that's why I was
Yeah, as long as
thinking
you
like,
attach function, that function is fired, but based on the logic of the function, what it's gonna happen, that's the important. So you can put here handle submit, handle update, handle whatever you want. But if you put use navigate logic from React Router, it navigates to whatever the route you want.
oh, okay, that's good to know.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see quickly and click. You see, I'm in somewhere else, but in some magic location. Give me a second. Okay, something happened, but still we are in the same page, right? Login. Yep, should navigate, but reading use params. Okay, we are not using use params now. You see the people how the way using use params, like we have mentioned earlier. Yeah. Navigate. Okay, let's check it quickly. Use navigate in the React router. How people use in, utilize in Stack Overflow. So say that we have use navigate. Okay, that's perfect. And then it just fires this function. Let's say when the redirect to report is fired, the report, and then the app report, navigate. Okay, that's a question, looks like. So we need the solution here. Okay, not that one. Reuse location. Not exactly the one I'm looking for. Use navigate. Okay, function. And this just sends me to, you see, it even sends, it can send extra information like state, I did this one, name this one. Okay, to component D on click, I'm firing. And that when I fire, it should run this navigate. Let's refresh the page one more time. We are inside here, log out, and when I click something, it's not sending. Navigate to.
Did you put the correct path? Maybe it's didn't.
Just single.
Is it single? Okay.
Yeah, kinda. It is adding on the right side. Let's say random. Look at this. It's adding on the right side of this login. Look at this. Kind of. Let's see. No, No. Log out and then submit. Let me remove this to prevent some default clicks and leave only this button initially. And then button primary type submit. Why it is a type? Okay, just still leave like this. Log out. Let me remove this one also. Class name doesn't exist in React. Just class. I mean, class doesn't exist. Class name exists. On click, and then the one is to navigate to different page. It's not filed about function call. Would it work? Yeah, it works now. Looks like we have to make it a self-invoked function in this. Oh, okay. Somehow when you just put here navigate, it means that there should be some function with the name of navigate, and then inside you can call. Okay. Now that one works. That one makes sense. So let me take things back and make it just self-invoked, or I mean an anonymous function every time when we click. Yep. Log out. So see now, submit is sending to random. Why? Because we don't have random. Save it, log out, and submit. We are in the home page. Okay. Perfect. But the problem is, let's say that if you're log out and here, click enter still sends, right? So we just have to make this function is firing some other function over here, const, let's say navigate to home, okay? And then we do what first? What was that? E dot prevent default, right? E dot prevent dot default, and then so come on, it should
No,
be
prevent default altogether.
without dot, you mean?
Yeah, without that. And D should be capitalized.
Uppercase. E is okay, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And okay, now this shouldn't at least. Let me put here this function. They shouldn't at least submit something. What is the function called? Parenthesis?
Yes. Also,
should
it's
be
prevent, not D.
T, yeah.
T.
Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, got it. So let's at least see. Shouldn't be sending us somewhere. I mean, yeah.
Isn't you need the prevent default when you have on submit the button, but when it's an on click, you're fine.
No, because the type of the button is submit.
Oh, okay, okay.
Type. It just
still works. Okay.
yeah, and then it's a form. Okay, if
Yeah.
it's a separate, we wouldn't be using, but if it's a form, so it captures some input coming from this form, separate forms. Now let's when there is empty, okay, it prevents the but if there isn't empty, so let's try to navigate. Now we don't need to make it anonymous function, so we can just put here something whatever the link we want. Let's try to hit enter. Still we are still we are what is the logic? Prevent default. I'm not like using for a while this prevent default. Let me quickly check how people order use this one. So give me seconds.
If I'm not mistaken, prevent default is when you click submit button is not refreshing the page all over and again. So this is the only one. I know. But you
Prevent
need
default.
if else statement, I believe, to in order to if the form is empty, right? This is
mhm,
this is
yeah,
the one yeah, I guess you need like if else statement, which I didn't do. I was waiting on it. Yeah.
I
The
see.
thing is,
It's
it
better
should be
to
inside of
send,
form, right, Barry?
it is better to put that event the form and make it the event on submit.
On submit and then function.
Yes, you need to move that to form and on submit.
Oh,
part.
okay. It should be okay. Okay, got it. It should be the parent. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's the perfect solution. Yeah, should be okay. Otherwise, not in the bottom, but it should be in the parent,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
So
wrapping. Okay,
I remember when it's
that
on
one.
submit and
Yeah,
then it's like need to prevent default.
yeah. So, still missing something on submit. Navigate home.
You don't. Do you want to check the empty entries?
Yes.
But you don't make it. You don't check it.
I mean, prevent default. Yeah, I
You don't
haven't
check the
checked.
form now. You need to check the form whether it's empty or not.
Yeah, I thought that like prevent default may prevents from me to going further.
But you use navigate. It directs to home. If you
Okay.
comment
Prevent
that
default.
navigate.
Oh, I got it. Prevent default is just for preventing from refreshing the page, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, the concept confusion then. Okay, of course. Yeah, now we only achieved to prevent the page refreshing. Of course,
Yeah.
we just have to check whether these are typed or not. So how can we make them typed or not? Of course, yeah, we can well go with what state? Did you create state, local states?
I didn't do anything for that. But I saw
How
a
it checks
YouTube
then, for
video.
example, if
Yeah,
there is
and on a
something typed
YouTube
or not.
video they said like they had that if else statement inside of the form. So if it's empty, it gives you that bar saying like, hey, you need to fill it.
Okay, so let's see that console.log e.target. What kind of target we can capture. So if I click, so form, from form, target dot how can we capture that password is typed or input is typed? So yeah, we can go with the React logic. Anyway, maybe there can be tons of different solutions. Simply we can go with React logic. So that's what I can do. So let's say on change. Okay, we can store it somewhere else. Handle change, and then const handle change. Okay, and here we will just store it somewhere else. And based on that store or based on that variable, we will whether navigate or not navigate. That's it. Okay. So input text, and actually we can fire the same. Okay. Anyway, we can create two separate states. Set input, and then simply use state, right? Use state. Initially it's nothing, so let's quickly import use state from React, and one more for password, right? Passcode set passcode. It's also empty. Now, it is the function that updates the set input based on E that target that value, and then E to make this input fully controllable. You just have to put here value attribute and then put here input text. Okay, that's for user name or email, and quickly for password. That was somewhere else here on change, and handle passcode. Okay, save it, and let's put here value. It's gonna be my passcode. Do we have passcode variable? We do, and this is a function where it stores passcode and set passcode. Saved. That's it. So we will go further if what both of them is true and this one, okay, passcode. If both of them is true, otherwise we do not go. That's it. Okay. So if this one is true and this one is true, we will navigate. Otherwise, we can alert. We can say, yeah, we can alert. Or instead of alerting, what we can do is let's put one text down below this submit button, maybe here. Okay. So like P and then kind of text. So let's update one text. Okay. Alert text and then set alert. So this alert text will be updated here. Otherwise, okay, either we navigate or so else we can just set alert to something. Let's say, please enter your, let's say, credentials. So alert text would be displayed over here only when there is a text, right? Alert text, and in the form of, we can put here style red. Okay, color red. So initially, when we don't have this, wouldn't be rendered, but when we have it, would be rendered. So let's see. Yeah, there are still some logic needs to be done. What we have done is we updated this input. I mean, not updated, stored this input text, okay, in our input text variable, and then the passcode is stored in our passcode variable. When we click or when we hit the enter button, we will fire this function, navigate to home, and then check whether this input and then passcode is something. If so, we will navigate. Otherwise, we will update this alert text and then down below show him. Okay. So now, yeah, please enter your credentials. If I type something, submit. Yeah, since this is the definite, is this strict rule for typing the email, okay? So it's gonna be asked all the time, the special symbol. Now we are in our in our main page. So log out, again type, please enter your credentials. Enter your credentials, and yeah, as long as there is this what special symbol, that's gonna send us to the main page. Okay. Yep, enter also works. So what we did is basically, you see, when there is no text, we don't see. When there is a text, looks like something went wrong in else statement, and that's why we are seeing. But if you don't go to else statement, it means that we are being navigated to home page. Okay. So yeah, this is another solution, guys. You see, using the navigate or link also possible. Any questions?
No, so far so good. Yeah.
Let's have a quick break, like 5 minutes, and then after 5 minutes, we will continue and sync up and somehow maybe wrap up a little earlier. Okay.
Mhm.
And if we still missing some features, we will complete before wrapping up. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Are we around? Right.
Yes, we're here.
So let's authenticate our credentials before jumping into home page. So for example, we can do something. So log out. Log out. We can come up with another logic. For example, let register or sign up. Okay. So where we did bring this one from Bootstrap, right? And from Bootstrap, yeah, we can add one more input component here. So that's gonna be hidden initially. so let me just remove this checkbox we're not actually using. And let me go ahead and create here two more. Say that this is not password. So this is on change. Okay, I will just remove at the moment and remove this value also. And remove this one. This is not gonna be password, but just the type like text. And then this would be also text, but this one for name. Okay, placeholder name, and a placeholder last name, and then this is gonna be last name. Now from control, example, input, password. Let's remove this. We don't want. Okay. So what I would like to do, let's say that if such credentials doesn't exist in our database, we should say that, okay, sorry, like wrong password or wrong account, something like that. And we can also put here what one button, sign up button. Okay, so now we have all of them, name, last name, but we should show this name, last name when user clicks sign up option. Okay, so how can we do that one? So we can do is simply here with one button. Let's get a copy of this kind of button also, save it, and put, for example, somewhere else here next to submit button. Okay, so submit button, but here this one is for sign up. So this sign up would be all the time here. Okay, all the time here, but not primary. Let's make it secondary. Secondary. Okay, secondary is in gray, sign up. And if I quickly give him class name also. Okay, these are not the correct logic for React because these are coming like HTML, CSS concepts. It'd be class name all, okay? Anyway, it renders. So button class name, and then let me put here margin for him, let's say margin right 5. Just if push this one, didn't push. I think margin E. Yeah, just sign up. Okay. Initially, we don't show this one, but when we show is when user clicks sign up. Okay. When user clicks sign up and sign up, how we can make it show is by putting here on click, show sign up. Okay, show sign up. When user clicks, okay, not this one, this one. Control V. So when user clicks, we will show these two more features. Okay, but initially we have to hide them. So we will show only when this sign up is clicked. Now let me create another simple variable. So let's say sign up. Okay, set sign up. It is empty. Okay, as long as this one is empty, so I don't show them. Okay, using the again what the short circuit logic sign up. If this one is true, then I'll go with the right side. If it's not, I then go. So what I have to do is I have to wrap it right with the one div. Yep. So if sign up is true, I will go and show for the user this one. And if sign up is true, okay, if there is something, so let's put here just a boolean, okay, false initially. Since this is sign up is false, guys, I won't show this one. Okay, let's see now. Now looks like show sign up is a function already created, but not yet written here. Let's just put here this show sign up. Now you see, I don't show anything, but when I click, I should be able to show here. Now the state sign up is false. That's why I'm not able to see. Okay. So the moment I click sign up, this state becomes true. Okay. This state becomes true. And then what I should do is I should just toggle this one. I just toggle this one. And so I can put here, for example, yeah, we can toggle this one. Sign up becomes the if it's false, it becomes true. If it's true, it becomes false. Okay. Now let's see. Sign up. You see, we have two more options. If I click again, it just hides back. Okay. Two more options. Sign up, name, last name. And so somehow we have to eliminate that. Please enter credentials also. So if we take that outside of the form, we should be able to eliminate. Let's see now. Is way here, right? Okay. So in this case, deflex.
If you change its type, button type, not submit, no
of
regular
course.
button.
Of course, yeah, just a button. Yes. Actually, we don't even need anybody. Anyway, it's gonna be button, right? Yep. Yeah. And let me just refresh this, save, refresh. So enter your credentials is why still it's showing me is because yeah, actually I completely believe that if you just remove the type, but what if just type is can it be something else different than submit?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for example, just a button, right? For example, let's just put button. Yeah, so refresh. And then sign up. Perfect. Perfect. Now, yeah, we just remove and then make it button. And yeah, if someone clicks sign up, we don't need to show again, right? We don't need to show the sign up again. So, or yeah, we can just keep it. That's okay. Yep. Yeah, please enter your credentials. Now, yeah, now let's authenticate the credentials. So we don't have any user account yet, such the account, okay? How we can check it? We can create in our local storage, okay? From local storage, let's bring something, some logic. Control X, and then I'll put here navigate. But before navigating, I'll bring from local storage. If you remember local storage, dot get item, right? From get item, let's bring what? Let's bring a users, okay? And from users, let's say that this user is gonna be something like this. An array of objects, okay? So these users in our local storage would be array of objects. Every object is a new or separate or different user. Okay, first Zamira, second Amir Khan, and so on, so on. Okay, so from users we will check if any object has correct passcode and then input text. Then it means that we have such a user in our entities in our database. Okay, initially we don't have anyone, so how can we check? We can actually hard code it by creating one user initially. So if you just go to application and then over here, we can create a user, okay, and then put here array of one object, let's say. Yeah, ID also possible, like let's say passcode, and then make it ABC. And another property is what? Another property is what was that? Email, right? Email email would be, say, that abc.abc.com. Okay, so this is our just hard coded what the local storage data or database, say that. And during this checking, we will bring, let's console how it looks like, console log. If I just assign it to a variable console, let's say local info equal to, and then local info first before navigating. Okay, see how it looks like now. Let's console. What I did, I'm just bringing the user's key from local storage, and that key is equal to array of objects value. Okay, and now let's bring that one when we type something. So type something and then put here abc.com and then abc and submit. So it looks like null. Why it's null? That's local info. Users get item. Oh, users. Okay, we created user, right? That's correct. User. Yep. Now let's submit again. Perfect. We have passcode ABC and then email abc.com. Okay, just we have to compare if anyone in my local storage with the passcode equal to ABC, email equal to abc.com. If it exists, okay, we will go forward. Otherwise, we will just say wrong credentials, something like that. Okay. So the problem is this local information is not in the way we want. Actually, it's not a React. So we just have to what we have to I think parse. What was that? Parse int or stringify JSON parse. Okay, dot JSON parse, because this is now not array. Okay, if you just test it, it is just a string. What was that? Type of. Look at this now. Type of. Oops. Type of local info. Okay. Now type of. See now. String. Okay. Array is now in string format. That's how actually JSON looks like, right? How can we make it array? Is by typing here login local info, like we are doing in the fetch, right? Like JSON. Okay. So let's see now how it looks like, and then type of local info JSON. Refresh. Okay, JSON is not a function. Maybe it's lowercase just. or JSON stringify or parse JSON. I just forget it. Let me just quickly look up. Okay, local storage array. Let's say, what was that? Parse. Okay, parse JavaScript. JSON parse JavaScript. Local storage array parse. How do I don't want to store, but I want a stat item JSON stringify. This is the way we store. And JSON parse. Okay, got it. JSON parse. So we just have to first JSON parse and then wrap what? Local info. That's it. Now this one became again back to array that we can use. Type of JSON parse local info is now array of objects. Okay. So now let's see. Simply look at this. Still something missing. Type of JSON parse. Oh, this. Okay, one more wrapper, one more parenthesis. Gotcha. One more parenthesis, and then we are done. So submit. Is that unexpected thing? P in which field? Prism force. Local info. What do you mean? JSON parse local info. Okay, type of. I'm just checking type, and then let's token P JSON position at 2. JSON parse anonymous. How about if I remove type of? Local info. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. All right, so let's double check. Looks like we definitely have to provide stringify. No, you can also use direct links. No. That's what I want. JSON parse. Okay. Yeah, JSON parse. Interesting. User local info. Why don't let me put this one directly. How it looks like now. Okay. Yeah, that only thing is to convert string to array. That's the only thing we're trying to figure out. How about if I put here JSON dot parse and then console our local info. If we are able to parse this one, then we are good to go with the next step. Still same. Oh, we have okay. This one is also typed. This one is typed. Let me put outside of the if else statement. Interesting. So set item. Okay, it's okay. That's the only way. So stringify is the creating array, but so local so get item. Okay, just some parse. Is that uppercase all? Oh, that is parse local storage get item user. Okay, I'm just trying to parse it. Storage names and then the name. There's something still missing. Shouldn't be that problem. Let me just check it because this really simple issue on the quick token and just position. We token P, what it's about saying.
To get that user, you need to first write that to local storage. Did you write that.
Yeah, I hard coded. Yeah, hard coded it like this. Yeah, we can bring this as a string. You see?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but this one interesting. So parse items, specification items, parse. Hmm. Okay, let's write in this way first, and then try to bring. So when I create, so I will go and then first let me set here. So let's say names. Okay, what kind of names you want to put is here. Const names becomes array of objects. Say that passcode is ABC, and then so this is the way how we create array of object in local storage. Okay, stringifying with the array and then creating in our local storage. And now if I want to bring it back, let's see if it works. So let me just remove this one and remove this console target. So names is an array. That's it. That's simple. And I'm setting in my local storage and I'm putting in names keyword and then stringifying it. Okay. Otherwise, this array won't be created. And then taking it back again. JSON parse local storage and as a names and see what happens now. Yeah, looks like I can now get it. That hard coded didn't work, but we were able to get as a string when we tried to get item, but after parsing, it didn't work. Looks like, yeah, we will create anyway. Yeah, we actually supposed to create dynamical, not hard coded way. Now, what we do is we will check. So instead of these names, there's gonna be user. Okay, users. So this wouldn't be created here. This would be created in our submit or not, I mean in sign in process. Okay, I mean sign up process. So let's remove this one also. So we will check it here. Control Z and that one. So this process get item users should be during the what, during the submit, but creation is during the what, um, during the sign up process. So for this sign up, okay, we show the items. Now how can we create it now? Create account. I think we need one more button somehow. Create account, right? Yeah, or submit can still serve. Yeah, there should be like bunch of different logics. We somehow troubled ourselves. Anyway, let's finish this logic. So if there is an input passcode, all right. If this one fails, let's say that. Okay, if this is correct input and passcode, we will check it from our local storage. If this doesn't exist, we don't navigate it, and we will check from local storage. Okay, so let's filter that one from local storage. If this input text and then passcode is same, okay. But to be able to get, we have to first create. So creating is anyway, we need some initial local storage. Let's see initial local storage, but that initial local storage is somehow we are not able to parse. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'll give up from this logic. Let's maybe stick to more simpler solutions. I don't want to just go with this sign up because it looks like we need some more interaction with the local storage, like without errors. It was going a little not smooth. So let's give up this, okay? But if you want to show like sign up and submit, this logic would pretty much work. But now let's submit. It's sending us. Okay. So logout, for example, for sign up, it still shows. But if you, as long as you provide some information for the email and password, it sends. Okay. Think about it for the sign up, maybe later on your own. Okay. With the help of local storage. Yeah, we can do that one in 1 hour, but I don't want to mess things up here. Cool. And what is the next feature we can talk? Okay, so here we can talk is, yeah, logo is just a cosmetics if you just put image. And also, there is another problem. For example, if someone comes here, for like goes to logout, say that logout, okay, but if user just removes this one, can still go to login. You see, that's also shouldn't be happen, and that's another bug. But you can still focus with more simpler logic. Logo goes here, the search. What are the other functionalities? Is there anything we still missing, guys?
Mm,
So basically it was like searching, filtering, right?
yeah, I mean, basically it was
You know what? There's, I think, another feature on about page when you send an email. It looks like send email. It's attached to the mail application in what was that? In the phone or on the computer. So I didn't do it. I hope it's going to be okay.
So in about there is a sent image, right? So
Yes.
sent email.
Send mail, yeah.
And then if you type something and then
No,
click
you
the
just
send
need
email.
to click on that send mail, and it's like pops up the window from like mail on the computer. I mean, not like what I have.
Which mail? Your Gmail or Outlook?
I think Outlook.
Let me show you. Hold on.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, if you can share it.
Yep. Oops, I closed it. Give me 1 second. So so this is actual website. So here,
That's the working, right? Okay.
yeah, the working one. So it's like send mail and it pops up this window. So I can just choose like Google or whatever. I think it's like a mail from that application.
Interesting.
I think it
Okay.
looks like, do you remember when we did upload? When you click upload and
that's also form, yeah. Form
yeah,
also.
so I believe it's works the same, but I'm not sure.
I think mail 2, I think. So let's check a tag mail 2 maybe. A mail 2, I think. HTML address tag. Yeah. You see mail 2. That's it, I think. Without any submit, without any.
It was mail too, right?
Yeah, with mail 2. That's just it, I think. So let's put that one in our about section. About section. Where is about? It's over here. For instance, if you click, let's say this one, so we can make it in a tag. Okay, we can make it a tag, and then put here iname for
Can you
all.
share the screen, by the way?
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me share it. Yeah, in our about page, we have what? ID, a name, last name, and then username, right? So instead of name, I can go with the A tag, and for the href section, I can put here mail to who, for example. Let me type my own, the kind of big gmail.com. Okay, I think the moment you click that one, by default would be popped up. Okay, so let's see now. Yeah, it just pops up me this one. It is actually showing me the one that you showed, Zamira. Okay, so if I click, for instance, Outlook, and then OK, Google Chrome allow app to open email links and so on and so on. So why it's not showing me on my table? So let me click again. And now, yep, now it shows me this one. What is this? Yeah, I think that there is a typo. So let me click again. Isaac, Outlook. You see? 2. So in this case, we can do something like this, not to me, but to whom? To these 2 guys. So we can make it dynamic. So this way, okay, becomes more dynamic now. Let's wrap it. And wrap it, mail to here. We will make our string template. So let me find $, and then it's gonna be iname, okay, iname, and then plus. Yeah, we can put period. Definitely, there should be period. For example, yeah, probably there's a period between last name and then first name before it becomes it's his or her email. Okay, so it's gonna be this kind of email. So we would be routed to so Mark David, and then why it still shows me dshave mail to iname last name gmail.com. I'm refresh and close this Outlook. Yeah, McDavid, random gmail.com. See, you can directly send me email. So Isaac Newton, gmail.com. Okay, from your own local. That's it. That's actually really simple. Just mail to href, the attribute. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Actually, this is a great portfolio project for you. If you make it a little more featuring, okay, with more really like engaging UI, for example, with better logo, of course, with better design, with better search functionalities like here, drop down. So let's say, and then sign up registering would be really like great plus for this project. So if you just log out, okay, but if you don't have such credentials, it shows you like incorrect account name or incorrect password, then you can go ahead with sign up to create your credentials and store it in your local storage. Okay, I can show in like in half an hour, but didn't want to mess things up here because looks like I realized like there things needs to be changed, and then some more logic should be applied. Okay, so I don't want to destroy this smooth workflow, but that's not that difficult actually. Okay. So you can just store in your local storage, and then every time when you want to sign in, okay, this could be not submit button, but sign in, just the text. It just filters through the local storage usernames. And if that matches, okay, you can navigate. Otherwise, sorry. Okay. And so we can make it a really good portfolio project, one of in your resumes. Okay, you can say, I created a recipe app with filter, with search, with drop down functionalities applied, React router to build single page, fast performing application. Okay, I used latest third-party libraries for the responsiveness of the page, like Material UI, React Strap, Bootstrap, and so on. Okay.
May I ask you to go over that use param again, just like quickly?
Of course, use param. So use param. Actually, if you are in this link, say that Zamira, and then hello, and then let's say hi. If you are in this page, okay, in this URL, if you want to use the use param, it's gonna return you this hi. Okay.
That was the last one.
Yeah,
Okay.
the last one. It returns you hi. Okay. Looks like in our details, every time when we click one particular item, say that from our here egg, and then select one of them and then search. When we click, looks like we are attaching one more URL parameter. What kind of URL parameter? Is this text. Okay, look at this. This text we are attaching. Okay, how can we get this one and make useful in our React logic? Is by using use params. Okay, so that's inside details. Using use params, we can easily get the last parameter of this URL. What is this last parameter? That's really important text that helps me to filter out a whole object from entire data. Okay, so here entire data is this one, and then I will look every object from entire data. If that object, whoever object with the label text has equal text string with this param, okay, that's returning the last one. Okay, I will just return that at the end of the day. I will return one single object because I will have only one object whose label is equal to the one that params having. Okay, and then this would be one big whole object about the card that I clicked in my previous page, and then I'll easily make it use here to show whatever I want. Ingredients, calc, what was that? All the carb, and so on, nutritions, vitamins, everything. Okay. And there are different, like tons of approach. Like every time when you click, let's say one item here, right? So on click, we can also somehow could be maybe like sending information from here to the components, from child to parent, from parent to parent, grandparent, and from parent to again back to drilling down. Okay, that's also another solution. But use params is it's a really short shortcut actually.
So basically, it's a kind of filtering it, right?
So which one?
The params, when you
I
try
use params is just from the URL, it gives you the last parameter. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So
it
how why we need that last parameter? Because when we click,
it's like you need an ID to get
it's kind of a unique
yeah.
ID. It's kind of a name,
Yeah.
special name. Based on that unique ID, based on that special name, you can filter out from whole data whatever you clicked particular.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense.
An object of the parameters for the router under this API requires a hook compatible version of React. Nothing understandable here. So let's see here. So React use params. And it returns an object of key. See, it returns object label. Whereas URL permits used to access match params of the year. It returns object. That's for sure. Label and then the last parameter of your URL. Okay.
By the way, I need to leave. Have a good night. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all for today. Yep.
Yep.
You have a
Thank
great
you.
rest of the day. Okay.
By the way, can you push it to the GitHub, please?
I will. Yeah, I'll push it today. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.